Oh, yeah. All right. All right. Hello. Good evening. I am Max. This is Munchies with Max. And I am Hermit Coach Maximilian Morma. We are Max Fit USA. And I got Mikey on the ones and twos. And I also got a little bit of feedback for a second there, but I fixed it. No. You hear it, Mikey?
I don't hear any feedback, but swap your mics, unmute the desk one, and then bring it over. I mean, on the computer.
Hello. Ooh. Hello. All right. Nice. It was on my board, didn't like it too. But anyways, we are here and we are firing. I am excited about what we're going to talk about tonight. We got some good stuff. We're going to chat a little bit of little 5 natural ways to kind of heal yourself if you're beat up from the week or inside of training or in general, some things you can do. My snack's pretty good. Pretty excited about it. Made it myself. Considering that it's a healthy snack. What's this? Go get that button for that healthy snack. But let's go through 5 ways that you can easily kind of manipulate your recovery and have a faster muscle recovery through a few just natural ways. Number 1 is staying well hydrated, understanding what hydration is. So getting to a point of not being overly hydrated, not having a lack of minerals, but ensuring that you have plenty of electrolytes, sugar, salt, a little bit of everything, sodium, I should say. Just stay well hydrated and look at the actual volume of water that you're intaking. The second thing that I would tell you to do is get sleep and a few naps. We talked about this the other day. It's very, very crucial and important for you to recover a little bit faster. Almost when I get injured, I almost go through the same process where I start sleeping more. The problem is that you get stiffer and it kind of hurts a little bit more to get going, but I have to understand that. So I try to sleep more to let the body heal itself, and then I'll work through, not through the pain, but I will understand what I'm trying to do and why I'm moving so stiffly because I'm resting so much. So the same principles I apply, more so for training, more so for injury, if I've ever gone through like surgeries and things like that, which I have. Number 3, mind what you eat and eat plenty of protein, right? So think of when you're eating foods, be mindful of not allowing yourself to get too much carbohydrates that create inflammation. And we joke about inflammation a lot. Obviously, right now I'm a little heavy set, so I would make jokes about how I'm a little inflamed, and that's kind of like an inside joke, or at least at the house, at the gym, we talk about that a lot. And we do feel that inflammatory foods will cause, obviously, digestive system problems, autoimmune system problems, all kinds of system problems. So be aware of that as you're trying to recover. So if you're bringing in a lot of carbs, and I know a lot of people post competition, post workout, they all talk about, oh, I'm going to have this huge cheat meal. I'm going to drink some alcohol. Well, I also have to be aware of, and I know the high level athletes are somewhat, but when we get in the moment, we kind of forget that we should be paying attention to not creating an over-inflammatory response. But in the process of training, just make sure that you're eating plenty of protein and being mindful of what you're eating. And when I say plenty of protein, it should almost be 0.8 to 1.2% of your body weight, depending on really what your diet type is and what your body type is and how you like to eat. So most of the protein recommendation research has been done. I'm pretty sure I haven't really seen too many studies on humans, but there's a few out there. So let's look at my fifth and final one is post-workout carbs. And I told you this was going to be a natural form. So post-workout, I could easily do chocolate milk and then fruits. I could do a banana. I could do a cup of strawberries or berries, seasonal stuff. So going into the winter, I could do an apple. Those are things that I would do for post-workout. If I get somebody on carbs, like 100 grams of carbs post-workout, and they legitimately will eat 100 grams of carbs, they start almost feeling like they're on a supplement, like a PED or something, because it's such a great post-workout. And if I were to tell you any supplement to add into your post-workout, it would be protein and the majority of your carbs if you're trying to cut. But post-workout, you should cram as much carbs as you can to build that lean body mass and repair what you broke down. Okay. Speaking of post-workout, Mikey, my wife, 4G had to go close the door. Even with all this soundproof, I forgot the door open. So I'm assuming that was I'm pretty loud from that alone. But it is what it is. Everybody's chilled out now. But they didn't want to go to sleep first. I was holding out starting because everybody was like this, hanging out. I had a late nap today. And then they did a late nap. And then in the quarantine right now and in this day and age, in this climate, I just let them sleep. But they still go to sleep at the same time, one way or another. Today was a little bit later. That was also my fault. We got a little carried away with making homemade pizza. And we were throwing flour on the table and rolling it out, getting down. So, okay. Tonight's snack sponsored by your local growers. I got some fruits, I got strawberries, raspberries, blackberries, blueberries, apples.
You look so defeated.
Wait. I'll turn it around right now. Hold on. I got green apples. I got I got bananas. I got bananas in there, and I had a mango. I should have put a mango in there, but I also put a tablespoon of dulce de leche.
Ooh, okay.
Apparently, your favorite brand over there, Havana. Yeah. So I don't add.
I was wondering, Mike Callens here was wondering if carbs will help you do one push-up.
Primo. Yeah, para vos, for sure. For sure. How are you? My cousin. Carbs will always help you do push-ups. Today we did a lot of push-ups. Never good when you're doing a workout that sixes that most you would think that you could do it unbroken the whole time, and you start doing twos because it's faster. Every time it started, I did 6, Mike. But
I'm not judging you. Don't.
Somewhere around that third round to get that 5 rounds, I had to mentally be like, okay, here we go, 3 and 3, 2 and 2. Noah built his ark this way. Here we go. So the Nutella or the dulce de leche really kind of adds a little to it. I didn't really look up the dulce de leche, but it looked like it was going to really crank up my overall bowl. And then the fruit bowl can't be too bad, but did you look up any of those fruits by chance? I didn't look at you.
I'm looking up the dulce de leche.
Yeah. Miss you too, brother. The fruit bowl I made for the kids, and they really like it. Whenever we do it, I kind of try to involve them. We have some like non-cutting finger knives, but they still cut fruit. And we have some like look over, like what does that even mean? What does that even mean? They're like kid knives,
So you
man.
use a spoon. Okay.
No, it has some serrated edges. It would mess you up. Like you put a good little like a little saw, like a fake plastic, like a plastic knife, it'll tear you up. Yeah, give me some dulce de leche. What do you got there?
So 63 calories for a tablespoon of dulce de leche from Havana, which is about right. I remember it being 70. So that's 1 tablespoon. And then a simple fruit bowl. Simple fruit bowl is going to be, and I'm just taking it from Del Monte, no sugar added, like a fruit cup snack. You're looking at
And that's sweet. No? Doesn't that have the liquid?
No, this is not the added sugar one. This is like just straight fruit. So 13 grams of carbs. You're looking at 45 calories for 1 cup. So 1 cup and 1 tablespoon of the dulce de leche. You're looking at 100 calories.
Oh shit! I just figured it out. Because that was pretty satisfying.
Is that 1 cup of fruit?
Yeah. That was 1 cup. Maybe even if it's a little more, like let's say it's 2 cups and the tablespoon was 2 tablespoons, still only 200 calories. That's still only 60 calories over my three Oreos that ended up being 9.
And then you got more nutritional value.
Yeah, every time Milo was eating the Oreos today, he only ate them once, but when he ate them, every time he would put them in his mouth, I kept looking at him like, you have to count them in 3s. I was so bitter about it.
So totally confused, and you're bitter at the same time.
It's like, what do you mean? Like, yeah, you got to count them in 3s. They only count when you eat them in 3s. So, yeah, way more satisfying. That was maybe like 6 tablespoons because with the breakup of the dulce de leche and the fruit, that was way more satisfying than don't get me wrong, the 9 Oreo cookies were amazing yesterday, and they're in my cabinet still, and all day through all my meals today, I was like suddenly I would open the cabinet and it was like, wow. It's breakfast. Why can't I have Oreos after breakfast? So I was like, okay. But I was
funny to see you here.
Yeah, totally. You're still here? Weird. I should help you out of here. But no, I didn't partake in any Oreos, and so far so good today in the sense of only now eating my fruit bowl and tablespoon. No, the tablespoon of dulce de leche was amazing. I like that. That was good. But that's the goal of the snacks, right? Again, we were talking about that is volume, being satisfied. The I feel like the popcorn and the other one that we had the other night, the Pirate's Booty, are 2 that are pretty big bang for your buck of the amount of volume that you're gonna stop eating it before you get too carried away.
For sure.
I mean, one of them we did correlate it to Married with Children and Winnie Tots. So I don't know how healthy it was.
If you don't know what that is, Google it.
Yeah, Winnie Tots. Winnie Tots. Okay. Ooh, today's workout. The Chief after yesterday's strict presses. Whew, man, those and my grip from the pull-ups and the kettlebell.
It didn't really bother me much.
Oh, Okay.
The strict pressing, it didn't really bother me much, but my lower back was a little bit on fire doing the power cleans though, from the kettlebell swings.
Yeah, mine too.
So you have so there's two different workouts here on Beyond the Whiteboard. The actual RX Chief, and then there's a 5 by 3 minute AMRAP power clean push up air squat. It's the same thing, but one's just RX, the other one is
the 115.
yeah, the 115.
Nice.
So
It would be pretty messed up to do too. I don't
yeah,
know.
a couple different results here. So for everybody that logged it into the 115 area here, for Stern got 31 rounds apparently at 115.
Yeah, he was moving. He was
Going
struggling.
pretty fast.
He was struggling through that warm up though. Struggling.
It's the knee up. It's the knee up that killed everyone.
That knee up took him out, man. That high knee tuck lunge and twist the knee up. And then on top of that, classic Pacern, he was trying to go. I should have brought him a foam roller. He went to his car, I guarantee, multiple times to see if he had a foam roller. Pacern, if you don't have a foam roller, I'll make sure you're driving around now with a foam roller. I'm gonna get one tomorrow.
But we had some pretty impressive scores here for 115. Crenshaw with 22 here, 22.2 rounds.
Oh man,
Hugh hitting 21. Ethan with 21. I think he increased his score by 1 round or so.
Another one this morning that I was telling them to run, and then we did multiple runs in our warm up, and he didn't even run, just try to talk to me. I wasn't even going to pay attention. And it was one of those vibes today where I could tell my community and my classes weren't really ready. They needed more coddling than they needed hard ass Coach Mac. So I gave it to them. I was joking with them, and we had a good time on that stuff all the way through.
Yeah. It's funny to see them warm up, and then taking them through twos, or is it twice through sequences? Always messes with people. I don't know why. It's really hard for me too. I'm going like, what's going on? Maybe it's because I just want to move forward, and now we have to do the same thing twice.
I think also too because we always do sets or rounds in the pull-ups like gymnastics or barbell with stuff, but we never really do that with the field routine. And I guess we used to do it with the plyometrics, but we haven't done that in a little while. I guess we should bring that back. We got time. Survivor Series is coming. I'm super excited.
I don't know if I'm excited or scared, or maybe both.
Yeah, it's all about staying close to the herd. Stay close to the middle. They'll pick you off on the outside. Be close to the middle. That's where that came from.
That's too funny.
Yeah.
Aaron got 22 rounds here, almost 23. Mary DePauli, almost 27 rounds. Look at that.
Damn, what'd she use?
65 pounds. There we go.
Yeah.
I had Little Wes here go up. I think last time she did like 45 or 55, and this time I made her do 65. She got right next to, I think she was like 1 round less than what she did last time.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. And then Rach holding it down for the girls at the 12 o'clock class here. 16, almost 17 rounds. And she jumped up actually. She went from 65 last time and she went up to 85. And she reduced every round by 5 or by one round each time. So
that noon was hot.
It was hot.
Physically hot. Poor guys. It was hot. What was the top of this leaderboard here? Sorry, what did Lily get?
Lily got 24 and she did 85 pounds. 85 pounds.
And what was this? What was our average up here? Sorry.
So the average for the ladies is 23 and a half. And we're looking at 23 for the prescribed on the 115 side. Nice. As for the RX version, the average was 23.6. And then for women, it was 21. So I'm rounding up there, 21 rounds for prescribed.
Pretty consistent pretty consistently looped.
Oh.
That like that arch. What did Lou get? Let's see what they got.
Louis got 26 rounds here. I'm not sure if that was an improvement. Dave English with 24 rounds. Lily Speed with almost 20 rounds. She did 95. Laura at 65 pounds did 21 rounds. And then our boy Rich, 20 rounds at 75 pounds. So what's that? Four rounds around?
Yeah. On the dot.
Right on the dot.
What's that? 90 seconds we said? That's money. Paying.
Yeah, every 90 seconds.
Paying. The barbell warm-up was rough. Yep. Don't worry, I was even more aggressive with my 1030. I didn't let them put it down once. They kept trying to get in front of me for some reason. I was going up a warm-up. I was so confused by that. So it's like it's one thing like when you're working out with your class and you're warming up your class and you're calling it out, and somehow everybody's rushing in front of you. Not everybody. There was a small number of people rushing in front, and so I was getting irritated because then they would just stop and stare at me and expect me to rush my warm up. And rush, like it would be different if we had to. But no, we were moving, we were doing double, getting warm out there, doing the warming. So I shut that down. We just grabbed the barbell and held on to it.
No, well, I made the 12 o'clock. I made 7:30, 9, and 12 all hold on to their barbell.
Yeah, and you did the stretching too.
Yeah.
So
that was a little rough. You can just see in their eyes, they're like, oh God.
I'm gonna put this down. I'm over this. Let's see here. So I got a pretty simple one today. I feel like we should make individual. That sounded like a Friends intro or something. I feel like we should make, doesn't it?
And behind door number 1.
Here we go. And I feel like we should have different segment intros.
I'm working on that one right now. You know how I made the intro videos?
Yeah.
I'm gonna start doing those.
That's easy MP3. Ooh, I
like an actual like play in. Yeah.
When we're done, I got one I think you're gonna like. it. You're gonna get excited about what I'm gonna. Okay, so today, Ask Coach Max question is, what's the single best body weight movement that anyone could practice for 20 minutes a day at home that would improve their gymnastics? So, I gotta look back and look at a few key parts of the sentence, and the key parts is anyone could practice 20 minutes a day at home that would improve. Basically, I got all gymnastics, and for me, it would be something like handstands, handstand holds, handstand walks, mostly because it will actually benefit your overhead position, and at the same time, it will benefit your shoulder stability and your overall overhead load. And so I'm kind of biased by nature that way. Also, too, developing your body as you're developing in gymnastics is very rare that a lot of us, when we get introduced to it, either I was in my mid-20s when I really got introduced to a lot of heavy load and a lot of high skilled gymnastics, and not even really that high, actually very minimal skill, actually. The strict muscle up and the muscle up. I guess and I have all the weird names for it, the peach basket and the forward rolls and the backward rolls. I guess those aren't that, they're pretty high skill, but as we develop those type of things, the one thing that I learned that I wish I would have developed at a very young age was handstand walking and handstand holds, mostly because it's just something that we don't do and we should do more often, because we walk on our feet. It's very rare we walk on our hands. Imagine if you could get better at doing so and being inverted and understanding proprioception, spatial awareness, all that type of stuff is very, very crucial to all development. And that's why I think that handstand and handstand walking is the best. I mean, you got triceps, and you could add in and start thinking about, handstand push-ups, dips, pull-ups. I'm very biased in pull-ups. I do think that working your posterior chain is the most important part of any type of strength conditioning or fitness program, is loading your posterior chain, one, to take away any pains, create any more to decrease the amount of body imbalances that you already have, like upper kyphosis of like typing and driving and doing all that stuff, and then doing more push-ups and more pushing is just going to encourage that posture. We're trying to correct the posture through training, not only develop athleticism, but create a better body type or body posture as well. So that way we don't get injured, because if the car has bigger gears on one side, it's more likely it's going to pull and then it's going to break and you're going to injure yourself. So those are things that we look at. And then you could add in other things like your lower body. I don't think a lot of people think of the lower body as a gymnastics exercise, but lunging hips, like the Ito hips, the Ito shoulders, rotational stuff, the animal kingdom. The animal kingdom is probably one of my favorite gymnastics exercises and warm-ups to do. It really develops movement pattern, more so than any other movements that you can do. So then I would now, thinking about it, even though I wrote it and answered the question already, I would definitely put in a hierarchy of maybe an animal kingdom warm up and then a handstand hold, or like those slips that they like doing, those single leg RDLs and things like that. But for sure, handstand walk is the gymnastics move that you should develop. Okay. But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how, those single leg RDLs or the Ito hips are really working the stability also too of the lower body, or the core, rockers and archers. Very, very basic. But when you're really young gymnast, they add in a lot of core type exercises. So, whew. Yeah, see, this will be a good time. Moving on.
But like in every late night show, the host always leads the card by saying a sentence.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yes.
I gotta come up with and then there we go.
Chacaranga.
Chacaranga. Moving along now. Or what's the you can turn the chimes. When you hear the chimes, you may turn the page when it sounds like this. Shing. Wasn't that the ping moon? Isn't that those books? Did you have those books? You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Yeah, so that's the age gap. I feel like I was pretty much at the end of those type of books, man. Those things were money. Now the sounds are in the book. It's got a little side cartridge that you hit the buttons and it just roars. It's like full storytelling. But back in the day, I had like a cassette that you had to put somewhere else and then listen to it, or a little record. You had a record with the fat hole inside of it, and you played it on the record player. Poof. Records.
I remember the read-alongs in elementary school. They had the brown tape player, and then they had the weird radio jockey headset.
For
right?
sure.
Like, but brown, but it looked like all you needed were the light sticks to like guide in a 747 on the runway.
I've been eyeballing the old like retro silver ones.
Yeah.
Okay. So Wednesday humped rant. So the hump rant is going to be something that very, very much irritates me is not banks. Banks are what they are, but healthcare. The healthcare system really does bother me. But banks is what I'm going to use my no you can put it back up there. I was going to banks and healthcare. Okay, here we go. No, no. So something that I learned is that I could be wrong in this. I'm not the most versed in this. I'm out of my lane here, but I do know that banks have to insure something like 10% of what they loan out. And when you think of that, it's like, oh, wow. So they can loan out millions and millions of dollars and they only need 10% of that, which is still a lot if they have it. That's pretty cool. But if 12% come back and they ask for it, that's a problem, right? That's kind of where the market crashes and the banks kind of collapse and all that shenanigans happens. And that's not really my point is. My point is that we're in a situation of the pandemic. And the more and more you look into it and you look in the healthcare system, you find out that big pharma and most of the lobbyists is coming, most lobby money is coming from some form of healthcare or pharmaceutical or blah, 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 blah. And unfortunately, that's never good when money is influencing voices and influencing leadership. And I tread lightly when I say leadership, but I'm very, very taken by this idea that healthcare is mandatory. And I think I've talked about this before, but I've never put it to this type of light on this type of platform. Healthcare is mandatory in California, and I think it's mandatory in most states. The fact that it's mandatory and there is no accountability for the healthcare system to be able to cover 10% is really mind-boggling to me. And I get it that we're talking about a bunch of stuff, and it's amazing that we're talking about a bunch of stuff. But I think priority number one is the biggest problem that we're having is those that don't have a very good healthcare system are suffering more and more from the disease, more and more in general from life. And I get it. I get it when people talk about human trafficking. I definitely understand it. And it actually bothers me when people are like, oh shit, this is happening. Oh my God. Oh my God. No, this has always been effing happening. The fact that you actually are now just turned on to it because you're trying to find an agenda to smash something else or tit for tat, whatever, just bothers me. But if you find it and it opens your eyes and now you're passionate and you're going to drive towards it, that's what I'm talking about. Because that's something that I'm very, very passionate about is kids. And so in this process, you start hearing about the lockdown hinders, it hurts kids and all this stuff. And yes, it does. It does. But more and more we think about it, the lockdown is in regards to the fact that our healthcare system is scared of not crashing. It doesn't want to crash. It doesn't want to show that it can't hold 3, 5, 10% of us all running, going to the hospital, right? They can't even do 1 to 2%, but it's mandatory for all of us to have it. All of us to have it. And I just don't understand why we don't have this conversation more. We want to talk about a bunch of other stuff when this should be priority number one. And I don't want free healthcare. I don't want free healthcare. Most people in a free healthcare system are crying about how it sucks. And I get it. I don't want any part of that. But what I wouldn't mind cheaper healthcare, but a little bit of cheaper healthcare. But I do know that I want some type of accountability for if it's mandatory for all of us to have it. We should all be able to show up at the hospitals. We should all be able to show up, and it's not the hospital's fault, but we should be able to show up wherever we're going and be able to be covered if it's mandatory that we have it. If not, then the system needs to grow out the other way, or just not mandatory that we have it. You can't insure people that you can't cover. And then that brings me to the testing situation. Testing itself can be so cheap, but because of big pharma and because of the healthcare system, they haven't allowed for other companies to come in and be involved in this. And therefore, we're suffering as a country, we're suffering as a whole when we could just let in a cheaper a cheaper market or something that could come in and fix our problem, but it would cut out some businesses that are already established. And we know that once we're lobbying and we're greasing people's hands and we're paying other people, that suddenly we're not gonna be able to do it. So it just bums me out that we have a very, very open forum right now to speak up, and we have a very big platform and ability to make change, and this is nowhere to be seen. Nowhere to be seen. I mean, we're talking about going to Mars. We're talking about, like systemic things, and like, it's just unbelievable what we can talk about and what needs to change and what is changing, and people being woken up to this type of stuff, but not being really understanding what this healthcare situation is. So, okay. That's my rant. That's my thoughts, man. It is what it is. Tomorrow's workout, cardio burner. Bum, bum, bum. Look at
You really like
no, I
playing
just
that
don't have
button.
any other song button right now in there. So man, I don't know, man. Wednesday rant might be too like hump night rant might be just too. I mean, we may have to make another show. It's just come on by myself type of deal.
No, I mean, like, it's good because that was originally how our rant started.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I was talking about racism real early in this process, and I said, this is not okay. I said it early.
Alrighty, guys, we have a good one for tomorrow. I would say kind of like what Coach was saying. It was a cardio burner, yes, but it's like an auxiliary cardio burner. If you look at the movements, you have 3 different movements. You have jumping jacks, you have burpees, everyone's favorite, and you have alternating lunges in place. Oh, hold on 1 second. It seems like I cut off half the workout.
Yeah, it comes back the other way.
Yeah, it comes back in a way. Out and back.
It's basically every plane of motion too, right? Seems like it. Maybe
not transverse.
You could argue that the push up in the burpee puts the elbow in a transverse plane. So
1 second here. Let me open this up.
But there's nothing for the lower body, huh? But you pretty much do go in every plane of motion. Pretty cool.
You have lateral, sagittal, frontal. There's no turn and twist though.
No, just the burpee, the pushing position.
Got it.
I mean, you could argue, I guess, that it never breaks that plane, but the fact, I don't know. Now look at that.
Fact check. I'm fact checking myself.
Sure. Yeah, because.
Alrighty, there we go. Fixed it. The magic of technology, everybody. That's how fast you can change a graphic.
Bum, bum, bum.
All right, guys. So, like I said, you have 3 different movements. You have jumping jacks, you have burpees, you have alternating lunges. And on the way back, on the second half of the round, you're looking at alternating lunges in place, burpees, and then back to jumping jacks. Now, if you look at the time domains, it's sort of Tabata-ish. Your jumping jacks first will be 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. And you'll do burpees for the same time domain, but your third movement will be 20 seconds on, and then you have a 40-second rest. Then when you get back, your next set of alternating lateral lunges in place will be 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. Your burpees will stay the same, but then your jumping jacks, your second set of jumping jacks, will be 20 seconds on, 40 seconds off. If you do the math, that's a total of 4 minutes within the round, and you're going to try to get as many reps as possible. Now, what's the stimulus you want to do for this, Coach? What were you looking for? Are you trying to grab a number and then stay the same? or are we just burning out every time we can?
Well, in a lot of this anaerobic and like capacity type work, it's even though when you're trying to stay the same, you're not trying to at any moment try to create a bump, right? So almost like what was happening with me today with the Chief. In the beginning, I had a minute extra the first round, and then it dwindled down to the very last round. I only actually got four rounds, and I think it was 3 push-ups. I know it was 3 push-ups. So that was something that was interesting to me, because earlier, if I would have went a little harder, I would have actually had a higher average. But I was seeing if I could truly sustain 5 rounds. So the 5 rounds in the beginning was still a lot for me personally. So with this workout, a lot of these movements you're not going to be very like versed with. So you're going to have to almost play the clock early, maybe not moving extremely fast. You're going to have to go through the movement and be like, oh, okay, I got 8 this time, and really I could probably get 10. Oh shit, I got 10. I could probably get 12. Oh, I can't get 12. I'm going to go back and work at 10. So you're going to start learning more of that, especially because you're doing it twice inside of 4 cycles. And then also you're seeing it on the back end when you're a little bit tired, and then on the front end. So you're gonna start stacking it, and it might actually be a little bit more on one end and a little bit less, and it might be vice versa. The burpees, you might do more burpees in the second part versus the first part. You'll probably do more burpees in the first part because there's jumping jacks, versus on the second part you've just done lunges twice in a row. So starting to understand that, and being able to still go all the way to the clock or some type of max effort number. So when I say that is, can you work to max effort and know that, okay, shit, that's real max effort. Now, what am I going to do from here? Kind of like what you did today too, right? Like, oh, hey, I wanted this amount of rounds, but now I went all the way to the 3-minute clock. So I know this is gone. But that was true max effort for you, right? Whereas me, I thought that was going to be max effort for me, and I was able to give myself an extra full minute, but I still sat on my hands. I said, okay, shit, I can't do anything because this is what I feel like max effort is. And I was right, because by the 5th round, I couldn't hold on to it. So that's where understanding what max effort is, where when people are almost reverse splitting it, they're not ever giving that full intensity, in which that's improper learning of their own body. So I would tell you to just go where you can and make the adjustments, because they're newer or more non-used exercises, especially the jumping jacks and the lateral lunge.
Now, is this a normal jumping jack? Just a regular?
Yeah, like touch the sides, touch over the head.
Got it.
And then they're all like sub-maximal exercises, right? So kind of what the air squat is, but if you move it faster in today's workout, you can actually do more rounds. Same thing with the barbell. Yeah, you could do singles, but if you do touch and go in that workout specifically, you get more rounds. The only thing that you're really going to probably fatigue at in that workout is the push-up. That's literally what's going to go. So,
and that's that, guys.
Yeah.
Heard it from the horse's mouth.
During push-ups, although the action at the shoulder is the transverse plane, the movement at the elbow takes place along the sagittal plane, and it is primarily a sagittal plane oriented exercise. So it is primarily, but the shoulder does move through the transverse plane. And when I said elbow, I was like, I'm saying something incorrectly. Hold on.
So it was the shoulder.
I was backwards. Of course I was backwards. But that, and it's a somewhat, I would say jumping down, moving through. But I'm pretty pumped. Yeah, we're going to do this, I think, Friday evening. Tomorrow's a rest day for us.
Oof. That's going to be fun.
Or maybe we do it as a Friday warm up. Start her off that way.
16-minute warm up. That's about right.
That's
I mean,
about
these
right.
are all warm up workouts. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be pretty good too. Shotgun start.
And go. Alternating lunges.
Yeah, hey, mile run tomorrow or a small loop. Small loop tomorrow. And then come on in. Here we go.
Who did the small loop that one time and led the class, like ran farther than they needed to do?
I don't know.
Somebody just kept running and didn't make that left turn.
They like crossed the main street.
Yeah, they crossed the street.
And then the group was like, nah, man, I've done this before. And I'm pretty sure every time we give that talk, it's specifically like, don't ever cross a street. If you just run on the sidewalk, you will come back. It's a circle. If you cross a crosswalk, you are screwed. I'm pretty sure that's part of the speech. That's part of the diagram. And we're good at diagrams. Even you, like you've been crushing it now a few months, and then you already like no problem. Diagram. Everybody likes always drawing diagrams at the gym. There's always diagrams on the board. You can never go wrong. So, I mean, there's diagrams on the ground right now. For the love of God.
Well, I mean, it's about an 80% success rate right now. Let's just say those arrows.
It confuses them because it's like the small loop, the big loop, and it was like they had one loop that was really ingrained to them right when they came in for 3 months or 2 months, and then now they got this different loop because they're outside, and so now they're just flustered little kids. But then again, they like to go against the arrows too. Like there's sometimes where they clearly know and they're looking at you. You're like, no, still take your arrows. Take your arrows. But we were right about to go both ways on the arrows too. The moment we were going to go both ways, we get no arrows.
Just no big old X. What is this?
Yeah, on all the arrows, just the oval. The actual triangle that's pointing suddenly goes like this. Looks like a diamond. You just mess it up. Okay. Oof. All right. So. End of day thought. Learning to let go. This is kind of in regards to what we've been talking about the last couple days about how to let go and getting rid of that baggage. Today would be more the idea of learning how to let it go and making the decision to let it go. So you have to be willing to understand that, hey, I'm gonna educate myself that I have this baggage, and then I'm gonna make the decision to let it be. And putting the decision in writing will always help with that. And then making a mental shift. One of the biggest things about making a mental shift, I always use this idea of the smoker and the dieter. And the smoker will always say, I am trying to quit. And the dieter will say, I am starting a diet, or I am trying to diet, right? Is technically what they normally say. When they should be saying, I am quitting smoking, right? I have quit smoking. I do not smoke. I did smoke. So you have to actually take that kind of ownership of it's already happened and it's in the past, not I'm trying to smoke. I am trying to quit. I do smoke, I kind of smoke, that kind of stuff. You got to make that mental shift. So same thing with the diet. You have to be able to tell somebody, I am not eating that right now. I am not drinking that right now. And it's real hard to do that, especially with the alcohol and stuff like that, because people all of a sudden seriously start coming at you like, oh, what's wrong? What's happening? But making that mental shift to really make the decision to speak in that vocabulary will help you to remove yourself and allow you to start teaching yourself to truly let go of that. So write it down, focus on how you speak on it, and then speak properly in order to move away from whatever you're trying to let go. All right. It is late. That was a good one. Thank you guys for listening. Follow us, hit us up, check out the website. Still under construction, but got some good stuff today. All right. Talk to you guys soon. See you guys tomorrow. Thank you, Mikey. Finally, it's what, like 11:10? I just now stopped hearing the kids crying. Fired up today. The heat got some. Mike is gonna send me like 10 different sounds now. So he can put in and send me that.